So we do this, we make the subroutine where we're setting the for color to color.red, and then we have to call that function, and we put it in a click event handler for this button, and we put this in there, and then test it to make sure that it works. Okay, the last thing for this project is to set this about form up. So we want to do that next. So actually to do that, you should add a few more buttons. Well, at least let's add in one more button for now. So if you go back to the form and you click on this here, and you click here, you can add at least one more button. So you just click on here, and you add a button, and then choose the image to be help. So that will look like this. I'll go back to that screen. Here, and there should be a button, an image called help. So use that one. And also, what do we want to call it? We want to call it, name is TBR about, and the tooltip text is display about box. So once you get that done, then we want to set up this about box. So you have to do it like this. So you add a new Windows form. So now we're going to be actually having two forms. And this is the first time where we've had two forms in our program. So we're going to add another form, and it's automatically going to look like this. Now for homework, you're going to create your own second form. You're not going to use this one. Okay, but for now we're going to use the built-in one. So anyway, let's add a new Windows form to our project. So in the Solution Explorer, that's over here, this part over here. In the Solution Explorer, left-click on the name of your project, the text editor. I call it text editor. Left-click on that. Left-click. Right-click, I think. Right-click on it. And then go over and get the Add selection and add a new Windows form. Okay? And then you'll see there's some ... after that, which means it's going to still bring up another dialog box. And you'll see here, there are all kinds of different forms that you can add. There's, like I saw, there was a login screen that you could add, and lots of different things you could add. But all we want to do is add the About box, this one here. So select that one and click Add. And then you'll see that there's a new tab in your, just next to your code window, basically, in where the same place where the code and the design tabs are. So up here, in other words, you'll see a new tab called About.bb for this form. Okay, a new tab for About.bb, Design Editor, will appear. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that we can put in here. Okay, and this is already written for us. Now the idea is that instead of using this pre-written one, you could just add a new form, a blank form, and add whatever you wanted onto here. You don't have to use this pre-written one. Okay, but anyway, So add a new about box and set its name to about. Oh, sorry, you should set its name to about. So if you didn't set its name to about, you can do it in the editor window. Okay, next, add controls and set properties. So double click on My Project icon to call up the Project Properties window and click Assembly Information in the Application tab. So you want to bring up this window by double clicking the My Project icon. So here's the My Project icon over here. You double click that and that will bring up this thing here. And then you click on this one here in red and that will bring up this thing here. And then you just add in this text or whatever you want to add in there. You may as well use this. And after you've done that, we need to add some code. So we're going to do a show about box subroutine, and then we're going to run that subroutine when the user clicks the about button. So we're going to write something called show about box, and then we're going to use it when they click the button, the about button. Okay, so what is it that we want to type in here? You have to type this. You have to type dim and give it a name as new about. So about is a data type, actually. You know, we have integer data types, and we had string data types, and we had decimal number data types. There's actually a data type called about. Just like we created our own data type, if you recall, called customer, there's another data type called about. So we're going to create something called obj about, which is of that type, and then it will have a show dialog method. So we're going to say obj about. What I mean by it will have that show dialog method is that objects of this type have this method associated with them, so we can use that. Just like string has a length object, a length property, this something of this type has this method. Okay, so we type object about dot show dialog and me. Okay, and that will be the subroutine, and then we have to call that subroutine. And when we do call that subroutine, we'll see this show up. Okay? And then for homework, you should complete this project, and then also do this line down here as well. Finally, add basically the same type of simple code as shown above to support the display of the second form. So he says that you don't really need to use the about box here, or the about form here. You can create your own form. So just create a blank new form and add some stuff in it, and that will be your about box, or your about message. Okay? So submit two separate homework assignments. One using this form, and then one creating your own form. Okay, as he describes here. Okay, that's all.